Alright, doing the mouth. So I'm going to start with a really light, like as light as I can, pencil sketch. And this is like a weird angle. It was all I could find. So your picture may not be, as much in perspective, which will be good for you. Lucky for you. So I'm just going to do a quick little sketch here. Try to keep it like really simple because most of what's going to be going on is with the color. One thing that I do want to take note of though is where the light and dark is coming from, where the light and dark is, because that's going to help me with making it look dimensional. And also I need colors. I need to know what colors, where the lights and darks are going to go. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn this so I can see where it doesn't look right. So, see, here's the center. Seems to drop down a little bit more and then come over. And this comes up a little more here. Then I've got the side of the cheek. This is the part of that upper lip. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go with that. See what happens. I'm sure I can make adjustments as I go along. Just gonna try to get rid of a little bit of this pencil. All right. Cool. All right, so I'm noticing the light. So I've got this light right here and here. Got a couple little lines there, a little reflected light here. It's probably darkest. It's usually darkest right along where the lips part. So darkest here, like here and here. But as far as the color shapes go, I'm going to be paying attention a lot to this here and right there. So before I do anything, I'm going to use my white pencil and do a couple of white lines for these little bits. Do a little bit over here and do some over here to hopefully make my life a little bit easier. So I don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. Alright, so let's get started here. As far as colors go, I am looking at, hold on a second, now I think this looks weird. It looks weird. Your lips look so weird. It's got like their bottom lip is sticking out a lot. I guess that's how it is. Plus, once I start doing the shading, I'm sure it'll all make sense. Anyway, I'm going to deal with it. Deal with it? Just deal with it. Okay. Alright. It is what it is. Okay, so now do some purple. Purple? This looks very pinkish, but I'm trying to see some colors into here. Maybe I see a little bit of dark green. If I envision this dark green, this foresty green color. So I'm going to use that, but in the lighter areas, or the medium areas, I could use a bit of a medium green. Okay, so anywhere that I see, and as I go with the colored pencil too, I'm going to do a little note. I'm using this green. I'll be able to spend more time on shaping stuff out with, you know, figuring out, like, so that's what I do, like, while I'm adding color, like I do this with painting. I look at the shape and I just start to, like, shape it, you know, push the edges of my outline to where I feel like they should be. And I think that's decent. And do this just a little bit. The lighter green. Need more in here. So this is my shadow. Let me switch over to some purple. Purple, violet, and mora. Mora. Spanish. I should look it up because I don't really know what it means. I feel like I'd like to know what it means, so. Alright, cool. I think I want to do... I like to squint my eyes too, so I can reduce the shapes. It helps me see the shapes of where it's getting darker. And all this under, you know, this under color, undertone is going to change once I, you know, put my final layer on. So this, you know, these look very different, but I know that I need these dark, you know, colors underneath to support the final layer. So if I don't have all these colors underneath, it's going to look flat and weird, like fake. I feel like the more colors you're able to interweave in there, the more interesting it looks, more artistic and creative, like creative color it'll have. Oh my gosh, I didn't do this or this, which is very helpful before I go to this, because this, like if I look at that, I say, a little bit of purple right there, a little bit right there. Alright, coolness. Now what? Maybe I should try some pink. Let's give me some pink. So the only thing I would say not to put over the darker colors is white, because it'll end up looking chalky and not natural. But lighter colors, like if any other lighter colors that you use, like this pink, even the peach, I think would be alright. But any of those other, that have white in them, I think they work alright. Maybe not in the deepest, darkest, shadowy areas. If you're like, oh my gosh, it got too dark. I don't know. You'll have to experiment and see. I feel like sometimes once it gets too layered, did it again. Ugh. Okay. Now let me do some orange. Let me see. A little bit of that. Okay, I'm going to get into the browns. And these browns, oh my, spilling chunks of pencil all over my keyboard. Okay, get this white going. The browns all have different tone. They have different undercolor. This lighter one, it looks a little yellowish to me. It's like a yellowish green. This one looks more reddish. And I'm keeping really light pressure, okay, because I want to leave some space on the paper. And I don't want to flatten the fibers of the paper too quickly because I'm still in the process of mixing all these colors together. So I'm still doing those really light circle motion. Little lights again. I should request that they turn that off. I swear. I'm going to break the, purposefully break sensor. Oh, maybe I can put a piece of tape over it. I've been in this room for years and I never thought of that. Oh my gosh. That's a good idea. Okay. I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna look into it. Okay. So I feel let's see what this one is. Yeah. This one's got more blue, I think. More blue in it. So this, of course it would have more blue because it is the darker one. Okay. So I think I'm going to get into using the white. So I kind of want a little bit more of that palish. Let me see what this fleshy, white, peachy. Ugh, I hate this one. All right. Maybe that will look good in here. It's it doesn't, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't do anything. I'll figure this one out one of these days. Just like I figured out the light, it took me years and years to think of covering over the sensor. Maybe it's just orangey. It's just too orangey. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's go white. White in the lightest areas. white. So the only places I don't want to go are those, like the super dark area where I wanted it to be really black. See, now this looks too cool now. See, I just went over it with the white and it looks really cool, so I'm gonna have to warm it up somehow. So I'm going to burnish this part. I do want it to get a little bit lighter, so I'm going to try using a lighter color. Not white, but let's see if this peach works. So I'm burnishing, pressing really hard to get the color to just smush together. Let's see here. What else do I have? I've got pink. Oh, we gotta mark that one. Now these lines are curved, so that is going to help make the lips look more rounded. See if I can warm this up a little bit. Now it looks too pink. And now it looks too orange. Let's see what happens. That's a little better. Soften this right here. It's a little too dark. Let's see, brown. One thing I didn't use is blue. I did use a lot of purple, but blue might work pretty good for this too. So here's where I'm just going to press super hard in there. And I want to get this a little bit more. I like that. That's working pretty good. Yeah, this is why practice is really important. Just so that you can, work out some color issues that you might end up having. If I did this again, well, maybe I don't know. What would I do differently? Maybe I wouldn't go as dark in the darker areas, because it's not that dark. Maybe I'd use a little bit less of these. But I don't know. Okay, so that, I think I'll just leave it at that, because this is becoming a long recording, and I don't want to carry on, even though obviously I could keep on going with this, just keep on messing with it. It's also a tricky perspective, so I'm hoping that you're going to have, front on view, and it won't be as challenging the perspective. All right, so there we go. That is the deal. That took me 22 minutes. So if if you do a couple of these, I think you'll be feeling pretty good about it. It takes some practice. So practicing. That's what it's all about. So if your first drawing doesn't come out, your favorite, don't get discouraged, because there's there's plenty of more chances. You just got to keep on working at it. Okay? And even if it comes out amazing the first time, maybe there's something more you need to learn, because if everything's perfect, then there may be something more that you can push yourself to try to do. Okay? So good stuff. Okay.